Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of the Briones Pickleball Podcast. Woo! I'm your co-host, Caden Nemov, and across from me is your host, Jordan Briones. We have a very, very fun episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about some of the new things that have happened on the pro scene. A lot of crazy things have happened just in this one tournament, and some things that will be coming out in this year of pickleball. So without further ado, let's get started, baby. Let's go.
All right. What's up, Briones Pickleball family? This is the first time that actually Caden is back.
Yep.
In the new year.
Yeah.
So hey, it's almost the end of January, 2024, and we got a good one for you folks. We got a good one. So buckle up, put that seatbelt on.
Safety first.
There's a lot of things on the pro tour, but a lot of things happening in kind of with us.
Yeah.
In the business world too.
100%.
Caden, anything you want to tell the viewers? You know, everyone's kind of asking where you've been. So like, I don't know, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, well, the last time I got to shoot a video or a podcast with you guys, it's been a little bit, but I did go home for the holidays, got to spend Christmas, New Year's, and almost my birthday with the family back in San Francisco. And immediately as I got back, I had a couple days to get back in the swing of things, and boom, sent my butt to Palm Springs in the Tessie.
Nice.
And played at the PPA Masters, and then just been hanging out, working hard, and getting myself prepared and ready for the next coming PPA stops out here in Arizona. So
yeah, for the 2024 pickleball season.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to the show, everybody. If you're a new listener, we are a channel that brings you really the best instruction on the internet, and
wow.
We are, we strive to do that. Obviously, this is a podcast format. We're going to talk a lot about a lot on pickleball news and things like that. Caden here is on the tour himself, PPA and APP, so he has a lot of insight for us. But yeah, just to start off, like to shout out our sponsor, Selkirk. Hey, Caden, we have the same sweater going on today.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
So not bad. Thank you, Selkirk, for all you do. And before we get started, I just want to tell everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate the comments and the feedback. Hey, and if you watch our video, all right, there's nothing wrong with giving it a like or leaving a comment below.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think you guys should do that just because you guys are so nice.
Yes. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
And we have a very exciting announcement, Caden. Now, for those of you who do not know, we train players of all levels from pretty much all around the country.
Yeah.
And we've been doing these 2-day intensives, we call them, where select 4 players get to come and train with us. And it's been awesome. And we have a very exciting announcement kind of for tournament players only. That's what I like to say. Or players that are 110% dedicated to improving their game. We are running our very first, this summer, by the way, super 5-day intensive training.
You heard that right, everybody. 5 days.
Yeah.
And here's the cool part. Can I share the cool part?
Sure.
The cool part is, an intensive, one coach, Jordan or me, and 4 other students. But the cool part about this 5-day intensive is Jordan and I are going to be teaching it together.
Ooh, double? You get double the value, or what's going on here?
Dude, like sign me up, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're limiting it very tightly to 12 spots. So we're going to leave a form below in the description. But seriously, if you are super serious about improving this year, you feel like you've either hit a roadblock, you've hit a plateau, Caden and I, both of us, with our expert eyes, we would love to work with you for a whole week. Obviously,
Whole week.
obviously, this is not going to be for everyone. We totally understand that. But for those of you who are interested in that, click the link below, and we would be on court with you for over 25 hours with players at your skill level. And we have there's just a lot of surprises in store. So I would just
A lot of things we could do.
yeah, even if you're interested even a little bit, fill out the form below. All right, here we go. Caden just came back from did they call it the Masters?
They do. PPA Masters.
PPA Masters, and they kind of do like a more a Wimbledon-esque.
Yeah,
They
all white.
all white.
No, it's
So
pretty cool.
I mean, I kind of dig it a little bit.
Yeah.
What is your feeling on the all white? Caden?
I honestly, it's kind of fun to get dressed up for it, and you're like, oh, it's a cool tournament. You wear all white, and it's, I can't lie, I had to buy a couple of white shirts just to wear for this tournament because, if you live anywhere near Arizona, you already know that you just don't buy white because in about 2 weeks it'll be brown or yellow. So I actually have completely stopped buying white since I've moved to Arizona. So every time I play the Masters, I'm like, shoot, I gotta go get some white clothes. So I bought 2 Lululemon shirts.
Ooh,
so
Lulu.
Just look a little fly, a little fresh.
You know what's funny? As I watched the Masters, the championships, and watched some games too, when someone doesn't have a pure, true white shirt, it really does stand out. So, pro tip there: if you go to the Masters one day, all right, just make sure it's you might have to just buy new clothes every Masters.
That's what I'm planning on doing. Deckel, actually, I was watching Deckel play, and he was wearing like a
shirt?
cream shirt on, and I'm like, bro, come on, dog, like,
Come on, Big D.
like no hate towards Deckel, because that's my boy, like that's my twin. We're twins, by the way, if you didn't know that.
He has a lot of twins, I guess.
Yeah, but dude, like I'm like Big D. What is going on here, man? You can't be wearing that yellow shirt with everybody wearing white and your white shorts.
Maybe he just likes that cream of the crop color.
Maybe, but I mean, I spent roughly $120.
Yeah, that's because you went to Lulu, though.
Well, yeah, man, that's like a prime athletic clothing, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Walmart. See, that's the difference.
I know. I'll probably go to Target next time.
All right, so Caden, PPA Masters, the very first PPA of the year, but also the first Grand Slam of the year. Am I correct?
You are.
So they're doing it very similar to tennis, I assume, but 4 Grand Slams, and these are the ones that are going to be worth the most points.
Yep.
Weighted, compared to the other tiers. But Caden, so let's talk about your experience there. How was it just in general, the venue? I know it was in Palm Desert. And then let's get into your results.
Yeah. Well, Palm Springs is always a great location for, pickleball. So going back to California for tournaments are always kind of like my favorite tournaments. So the venue was nice. It was just like a country club that they converted into pickleball.
By the way, is it the same one that it used to be at? No.
So they've ran it for 3 years now. The first venue that they ever did it at, they don't do it at anymore. But the last 2 years,
not at the lakes then.
No, it was never at the lakes.
Okay.
It was never at the lakes.
Okay.
But they used to do it at like La Quinta Country Club or something.
Got it.
Excuse me. And they moved it. And the last 2 years, they've run it at the same place. And that place is pretty cool. I think the biggest improvement from last year was the parking situation. They gave the pro players parking this year, which was nice. Last year, you had to park at like a middle school and take the shuttle, which was pretty ridiculous. So
that makes sense.
So
now only for pros, not amateurs.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some tension there.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, the venue itself was fairly nice. I think they had 4
free lemonade.
Free lemonade. Where the hell are you getting this?
Oh, they had that at a Palm Desert tournament.
At the lakes? Yeah, at the lakes. You're right.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Like Arnold
did have
Palmer's
free lemonade. Yeah.
So no.
PPA, get on that. Free lemonade.
Don't wait. Okay.
Actually, they might have had it in the pro player lounge.
Yeah. So I haven't been to a pro tournament in a while, but so I'm assuming that the pro lounge is getting better. So like, what do they have? Do they at least have snacks, Gatorades? Like, what do they have in the pro lounge for the pro players?
Usually like and that's the thing is I think
Or is
it's
it
technically
saltine
just like
crackers?
I think it's technically like the PPA pro player lounge.
Okay.
Because like when they bring lunch, they don't bring lunch for anyone except for like sign players.
Oh,
so I didn't really go in there that
deal,
much.
huh?
Yeah, I went in there like a couple times just to like get my paddles tested and whatnot.
Oh, tell me how that. So wait, how does that work right now? The paddle testing.
I don't know, man. I just send it to a room and I go back 20 minutes later and there's a sticker saying that it's legal. So
Interesting. When did that start? Because we didn't talk about that. So
well, they started doing it at nationals like full time. Like basically
what?
each day you play, you have to test your paddles.
See, I didn't.
Even if it's been tested the
know
day
that.
before.
Okay, so you get a sticker, and every player has to do this, right?
Correct.
So like, is the ref? Are they checking the sticker?
Yes. And they check the numbers on it too, which is how they know that it's passed or not passed.
And is it very easy to kind of take the sticker off and put it on another paddle? I just want to know. I just find this interesting. Or how do they know?
It's easy, but I don't think it'd be as sticky. So it'd probably fall off after you put it on.
it.
So I'm sure they're not great stickers. I mean, like once you put them on, I think they're pretty much
like
one-time
dollars,
use.
dollar
yeah,
store
right. But they're shiny, they're cool looking. So
okay, what does it say on there? USAPA.
just a number, like USAPA in the back, and then
there is a logo.
just a little logo in the back. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that. So folks, that's how at least they're testing paddles, I guess, on site all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't mean the paddles are not getting any crazier.
No,
Dude,
okay.
all I'm saying, it's wild because the new Gearbox and Yola just came out with a new paddle, and personally,
which we'll be reviewing. So
Of
stay
course,
tuned
of
on the
course.
Briones Pickleball channel. Go ahead.
absolutely, but like it's crazy because like when you listen to them, they sound exactly how a D-Land paddle would sound.
For those of you that are just joining us today and don't know what the lamb means, it was a situation.
Delamination.
It was a situation that we went through a year ago.
Right.
On
Where paddles started to sound like shotguns, and some glue was getting lost in some paddles, and next thing you know, paddles were delaminating and becoming more poppy and a little bit more dangerous. And now legal paddles sound exactly like what illegal paddles sounded like last year.
I haven't heard of this. I guess we're gonna have to test them out.
It's pretty crazy, actually. I mean, they hit hard. They kind of do it all, but it's kind of scary. But like, I mean, also at the same time, like I'm all about improving the game. So like, if it makes the game faster and it makes the game better, then like, so be it.
Then let's go, baby.
But like, dang, man, I was like listening to these paddles. I'm like, so wait, like a month ago that was considered illegal and now it's legal. So like,
well, we have a lot.
What are we doing here?
We have a lot more to illegal versus illegal to talk about. But okay, so we got the paddle testing. That's interesting. We talked about the venue. So now let's talk about let's talk about your events, Kaden, and we'll go through your results real quick. And I'm sure the viewers want to hear this.
Yeah.
So how'd it go, man?
Yeah. Well, first things first. I played mixed on Tuesday at noon with a recently new signed player for the PPA. Her name's Puri. Tennis background.
Wait, how do you say it?
Puri.
Puri.
Pieri.
What kind of nationality is that or descent?
Chinese.
Wait,
No,
really?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Bro, you need to do a little bit
probably
more
ask her a few
research
more
in
questions.
your. Okay, all right. So go ahead.
But anyways, we played fairly well together. Obviously, like we didn't really get a whole lot of practice except for like right beforehand of the day.
How did you find her? So she's a tennis player.
She asked me.
She's a tennis player.
A while back.
A new tennis player come back.
Yeah.
She has the potential, bro, or what?
Oh, she's good. She's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
She's good. I think she's gonna thrive in this sport for sure. We actually like won our first match.
Nice.
Or I'm sorry, our first game like 11, like 2 or 3.
Okay.
And we were like, okay, yeah, we got this team in the bag.
And was this qualifiers or no?
Yeah, so we had to. Well, that's
qualifiers.
another new rule in PPA is signed pros last year could play with anybody and get into the main draw. This year, there's so many of them
Got it.
that
Basically,
if one is signed and one isn't,
you're gonna
and one doesn't have an Jill Braverman and John May were in the qualifiers.
Interesting. Did they make it out?
They did.
Okay.
But it's like, what?
Hey,
It's like crazy,
how
man.
the cookie
It's
crumbles.
crazy. I don't even.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you play with her. So you lost.
Yeah, we lost. We lost in 3.
And is it single elimination now?
Single elimination.
Do they have
so that's
that
that's
points
how the
bracket,
progression.
though?
No, that's how the progression format works.
Okay. So now we're gonna talk about the progression.
Yeah.
Draw. Interestingly enough, if you guys or ladies follow pro pickleball, so before, when we first started this sport, double elimination, we went to that. So every team was guaranteed at least 2 matches, and you can actually lose and still win gold by coming all the way back. Then it went to a variation of that. Where are we now, Kaden? So why don't you explain to the viewers in pro, where are we?
Yeah, so in the pro division right now for the PPA, they're kind of toying around with a new format, and they're using it for some tournaments and not using it for others. But this progression format is pretty crazy, if you ask me, only because it now does not go from tournament weekend, Thursday through Sunday. It now goes tournament week, and you're basically leaving Monday to start playing Tuesday if you have to qualify for any events.
Got it. So it actually forces, so you're basically there Monday through
pretty much
Sunday if you win.
Yeah.
So these are long. It's like a minimum 5 to 7 day tourney now.
Yeah, right. If you have a full-time job, you're missing a full week of work.
You know what? That is interesting. And so before, how everyone, if you don't really know, in tournaments, let's say 3 events total, you're playing mixed, you're playing gender, and then you're playing singles, that would all be played out
on Tuesday.
If
you're qualifying.
Each day. First,
Yeah,
it was
right.
each day, and you would play out the bracket all the way to the championship. And obviously that's exhausting because you're basically playing for like 9 hours. And then they moved from there. They moved all the championship games to like a Sunday or to like. But now you're saying, because there's different events now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Different events being played on different days.
Correct. Multiple events on different days.
Yeah, and you really only have to play 1 match a day. Is that true?
It depends how early it is in the day. So,
like, wait, you're telling me you're potentially have to play 2 doubles matches or 2 whatever?
Correct. Right. So it could be 1, it could be 2, depending on where you are in the bracket
max.
and for a single event.
Got it.
For a single event, yes.
But you could, is this true? You could end up playing as a pro, mixed singles and gender in the same day?
Yep.
Or do they at least separate that?
You could.
Oh.
In the same day. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because it all needs to progress. So, it's kind of strange. So, like, I started in, like, a play-in for the main draw. I was in the main draw, but I was in a play-in for the main draw.
So that's not the main draw then?
No, it was the main draw. Like, I didn't have to qualify.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have to do any of that stuff. But this was basically like a round of 64, basically.
Got it. So it's the lowest round in the main draw.
Correct.
And this is for men's doubles.
Correct.
Okay.
And so I played that one. I was originally told that we were playing that on Wednesday, but then that got moved to Tuesday night. So I played Tuesday at noon for mixed, and then I ended up playing my first round of main draw on men's on Tuesday night.
Wow. So same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I won that first round, and then we ended up playing Wednesday. And if we won that first round on Wednesday, we would have played another. And then after that, we would have been done. And then we would have played Thursday.
Interesting. All right. So mixed, kind of a newer player you play with. And who is your men's partner, Caden? How did that go?
I played with Dave the Badger Weinbach.
If you guys don't know who he is, you may not watch the senior pros because he's a senior pro.
He is a senior pro. Like 3 or 4 years ago, he was like technically like a top 5 men's player in the world. But, that was 3 or 4 years ago. Now,
man, how has the game changed, huh?
Yeah. And honestly, like I had a very interesting first match with him. Interesting first match with him.
Do tell, man. Do tell. How'd it go?
We played these 2 guys, and
were they Any top players? No.
No,
So these are just
not top players. Got up and comers for sure. I do know one of them. His name is Jericho. He's actually done some damage on the APP.
Okay.
Dominantly a right side guy. But he was playing with a lefty, and he's a right side guy. So guess what? They were opposite stacking, which was
Wait a minute.
very
Oh.
strange. Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Were they actually stacking on purpose to have their backhands in the middle?
Correct.
That
A little odd, huh?
might be a first.
Yeah. Yeah, a little
No, but serious.
strange.
That might be the whole. Were they full stacking?
Full stacking.
Okay, dude. So tell me about strategy. I wish you recorded this game because I would be going in the middle all day long.
We did go middle a lot, but it was funny because Jericho kind of played a bigger right side, so he would take a lot of those middle balls with his forehand.
Got it. Like a Tyson or even Colin.
Yeah, so we thought, we were thinking to ourselves a lot, just like kind of like dinking to the inside foot of the lefty.
Yeah.
But it was pretty weird. It got really chirpy.
Between not you.
Not between me, which is strange, honestly. But it was between Dave and the two other guys. Like,
Wow.
I think literally like second point, they were already like kind of going after him.
Wow. Point number 2.
I can't lie, I did have a little bit of a headache in that match, just because I had either Dave in this ear or Dave in that ear, and then I had these two guys just chirping at me, like just the whole time. I was just like, oh god, F me, like low key. But it was, you know what? It was a good test because at the end of the day, I stayed in my lane and I got the job done. But like,
Wait, so what? You guys won that one?
Yeah, we did. But
Okay, so-
literally every point, like
Wow,
if the lefty
dude.
like hit a winner, he'd be like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, like, geez, okay, that's a lot of yes, And then like,
Wow. Dude.
Dave would be like, hey, when, oh, you don't have hands like that, I'm just like, oh my god.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
like,
All right.
in my head,
all right.
like I'm just, but like, hey, right here's my lane.
Okay, so you guys ended up winning. Is that 2 out of 3? I mean,
2 out of 3,
No, I
yeah.
know that, but I'm sorry. I meant, did you win straight or was
We
it?
won in 3. We actually were down like 3-9 in the first game and came back and won. Second game, we were up like 9-5, lost that game, and then third game, we killed them.
Wow. Okay.
I will say, okay, this is a huge shout out to my Arizona family because all of the Arizona crew was playing that night. Like Augie Craig, Jackson Rio, Joe Prince was there, Sam, Angelo, Rachel Redker, Walkers. They were there because they were done with their matches and they were there rooting us on.
Nice, man.
And so I think there was one point where, and I will say these guys hooked me probably like 4 or 5 times, which was pissing me off. But
We're
like,
going Captain Hook on you, bro?
oh yeah, well they were irritated with Dave, so anything close they just called out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but it was funny because there was one ball that we let go. And Dave looks at the guy and is like, way out, right? So, of course, now this guy's going to use that line, right? So, Dave hits one out and he's like, no, way out, right?
Oh, man.
I hit one inside the line and I'm like, and they call it out and I'm like, whoa, ref. Like, what the hell? They're just cheating us now, right? And the guy's like, no, way out, right? So now every time they hit an out ball, my Arizona crew, they're like, hey, way out. And it was honestly like,
Oh, crowd was getting involved.
I told them after, I was like, yo, like, honestly, you guys kept me in that match. Like, I appreciate you guys so much.
Nice. Shout out to the AZ crew.
Yeah. Rachel Redker, you have my heart, man. She kept me in that match.
Nice.
I heard her through and through. And I mean, all my friends were there and they were super supportive and great. So,
Okay. So first, or that's you called that the play-in.
playing.
Okay. So what happened after that?
After that, we played in the round of 32, I believe. And we just
Who did you guys play?
Elliot Markowitz and Naveen Beasley, 2 guys
Okay.
I've actually never played in dubs before.
Markowitz is a good player.
He's a good player, yeah.
I've never heard of.
It's not a match I would expect to lose. But it was actually kind of funny because early on they kind of went at Dave, and I was kind of like, oh, like you guys are gonna learn something today from the senior pro,
Why? Because he's just gonna think everything in.
Well, like
right?
I mean, well, because I will say, like Dave, like for being a senior pro, like still has game.
Oh yeah.
Like in my opinion, like he still has good hands. He's a solid dinker. I just think the game's a lot different than what he's like used to playing, you know? And like he told me one time, like he was like, oh yeah, like I think we can just like dink with these guys. And I'm like, okay, yes, we can, but we still need to look to be aggressive, you know? Like there was no plan of attack. There was just plan, you know, like.
So they started out going to him though. And then,
yeah, and they kind of,
and then what, why would they
it kind of just worked out, you know? Cause I mean, I thought,
it just worked out.
Yeah.
Like, so they kept,
they kind of just went, they kind of just went after him. Yeah. So,
okay.
Honestly, loved it. Learned a lot. I have Rob Cassidy for the next 2 out here in Arizona, so I'm pretty hyped for that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good experience.
In those situations, what do you suggest to players? Because whether someone is stronger or weaker, or maybe it's off day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're out there playing rec or you're playing a tournament and your partner's consistently getting targeted, what are some things, either mentally or strategically, what are some things that you try to do, Kaden?
I would say typically,
or maybe what are some things that your partner could do?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, first things first, let's talk about you. If you notice that your partner is totally getting picked on, I mean, first things first, I like to kind of mix things up, right? Like if I'm playing the left and you're playing the right, and they're going to try and hit almost every ball to you, which personally, that used to be a strategy like back in the day where like, okay, hey, isolate the weaker player. That's not always how it works anymore, right? You have to mix the ball around somewhat, right? So I would say, call an audible and maybe just switch sides. I would say as someone who maybe isn't getting picked on, you have to say, hey, look, I'm going to try and insert myself in there when I can, and when you get that opportunity, take advantage of it. I can't tell you how many people I see say, oh, I'm going to get in there and cause they're picking on you a little bit. And then they get in there and they just dink the ball back. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to take that ball, at least do something with it. You know what I mean?
What do you think you do? Do you think you drive more? Are you know what I mean? Do you try to take more thirds?
You have to look to be aggressive,
yeah.
Right? And maybe you can say, okay, hey, look, I'm going to try and take a little bit more just to kind of squeeze them and maybe get them in a position where they go, oh, hey, let's try and go behind them now, so I can at least see a ball, but it's hard, man, right? When you're the player kind of just standing there, it's like, okay, how can we get through this, right? And one thing that your partner can do is mix up the dink rally, right? If they're going back and forth cross court, maybe dink one up the line and see if they can, move that ball around. And I mean, that works fairly often. So
yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I would suggest to you players that are out there. Either you're the targeted one or you are the one that's getting kind of ISO'd. Mixing up your dinks and again, whatever side you're on, going middle, going line, but especially not just going cross court, super important because that forces your opponents to have a different ball from a different angle. Mm-hmm. And they may or may not be comfortable hitting, just hitting a dink like straight on, for example, or more, cross court. So that's definitely a big thing, mixing up your dink. So okay, 100%. So you guys lost that one, and that was it. It's one and done. Interesting. Yeah. Okay,
one and done.
Well,
but
hey, senior pro, not a bad run, huh?
It was kind of a last minute thing.
You had a partner that you had it lined up and it kind of fell out.
Fell apart, but
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Worked out.
That's it. That's Caden's APP. You said you had a crazy story, or was that it?
Well, it felt crazy in the moment, and it was during that match. But also there was some banter in a qualifier match that I watched. So, but I don't need to get into that.
Okay. All right. We're not gonna dive too deep. Stay tuned, everyone. We're gonna go over the PPA Masters results. We're going to talk some strategy towards the end of this pod, and new paddles, the new serve of the PPA, new balls for both tours. There's a lot of changes happening in the pickleball world, which may or may not affect you. If you do play pickleball, it may directly affect you. So, but we're gonna get right to it, and we're gonna kind of just look at the winners from the PPA. So obviously, big story here. We got Mr. Dylan Frazier, and his very first singles PPA gold.
Yeah.
Caden?
So I actually watched Dylan play one of his singles matches versus one of my buddies, actually. His name is PK, Patrick Kaka.
Yeah.
And
wait, they played in the Masters. He played him at the Masters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think it was it's like the round of 16.
Okay.
In the PPA Masters.
And Patrick has some.
Patrick has
he's
game,
good.
man.
He
Patrick has
good
freaking
strokes.
game, yeah. And PK actually won the first game and was up 10-6 in the second.
Wait, no way.
And blew it.
Wow. Shout out to Patrick with Thrive, I believe.
Yeah.
With
and,
Thrive.
I mean, we were all there watching him, rooting him on, and he played great. He just kind of lost it in that second game, and I mean that's what these pros do best. Is
dude, that is nuts, man. And
but
then,
rolled over him in the third game, 11-4.
Wow, but then it comes back, huh?
You know what? The biggest improvement that I found in Dylan's game is the consistency, the roll, and the pace behind his two-hand backhand this year. It's different. It's new. It's so much better than what it was last year.
Well, it really wasn't existent to any
well, I think he
really
had it and he, it was good. I think it was just inconsistent. And this year, like, it's lower, it has more spin, it's angled. It's just like what I was seeing when he was hitting it. I was like, yo, this is a completely different shot.
Yeah. So for those of you, again, Dylan Frazier here, wins his first PPA singles. Actually, he rolled through Tyson.
Yeah.
Kwong Dong. I think that's just how you say his name. And then Federico.
Yeah.
And again, there was some amazing, we don't have time to go through all the results. Obviously, Ben got upset by Kwong. Yeah. Another young tennis player. But Dylan, I believe, is one of the only successful singles players today that doesn't have a tennis background, I believe. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are a lot of guys who maybe don't have tennis backgrounds who are still good singles players.
But not up here.
But yeah, Dylan's movement and his swings looked really good. You know, his volleys are so good and so low. Like,
so
played really well.
Yeah, but that's Dylan for you. Again, playing singles, a whole different beast, but I would say that it really does. I get this question asked all the time. It does help your game. It helps a lot of parts of your game. Obviously, serving and returning is huge in singles. Yeah. And obviously, your drives are going to benefit too. But that just goes to show you, hey, if you don't have a tennis background, you don't have a racket background, doesn't really matter if you work really hard. Dylan's obviously a pretty incredible athlete. I think when I watched the matches, a couple things that stood out to me. I along with doubles, I obviously coach singles and I study singles a lot. But his anticipation, is great. His on the stretch, he does really well, and in singles, like it's super important because you're going to be reaching for the ball. So like his full stretch volleys, keeping them down. Yeah. And his cat and mouse game is
ridiculously underrated.
Obviously, Dylan, we already talked about his two-handed backhand. I mean, when we teach these intensives, Caden, the two-handed backhand is something that I get asked about all the time, and we go through it because
it's just that important.
You don't want to get left behind, folks. We have some videos coming out actually, maybe specifically on two-handed backhand. So stay tuned for that. All right, so Mr. Frazier beats Fed in the final, and Jack Sock. Let's just quickly. I didn't have this in my notes, but he had a pretty good showing. For those of you who don't know Jack, he is
maybe not so much in men's, but
but he
singles and mixed.
He had a pretty good showing. He's a professional tennis player that just retired. It's coming in, so I don't know how serious he's taking it, to be honest. But obviously the skill is there. I'm a tennis fan, so I want to see.
I'm
him.
not.
Yeah, I would like to see him improve. But okay, so we got Dylan, and then here we go. We're gonna hop into women's singles final. Annalie versus Catherine, and the match notes here. PPA, really cool. They're giving match notes here. We're gonna talk about some of these stats. I think they're just really cool to go through. And whoever's taking these, I mean, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, so match stats here. Part of Waters' 21st career PPA Triple Crown. So, if you don't know what dominance looks like, there we go.
Guys, I'm 23. She just won her 21st Triple Crown. Okay, that's not like 21 medals there. That's 21 times 3.
Yeah, so if you don't know what a Triple Crown is, one tournament, we're winning all 3 divisions, and that's I'm pretty sure she has more than even Ben.
She does.
I'm pretty sure.
More Triple Crowns?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so obviously Annalie is a league of her own right now. I'm excited to see some players hopefully challenge her this year, and I think the women are getting better and better and better. But Annalie she's just solid. So yeah, so that's again Catherine, a great player, another Selkirk sponsor. Shout out to you, Catherine. Great job there. But and let's see what scoreline there.
9-6.
9-6, 11-9, 11-6. Then we have the men's doubles final. Ben Johns and Colin Johns, obviously, in the final again.
Surprise, surprise.
This time, Riley and Thomas Wilson. And I want to just shout out, I really enjoyed watching Riley and Thomas play. Obviously, Riley, our boy from Arizona. Shout out to you, man. Great job on the silver. But, I honestly think that Thomas is a good fit, man.
I think it is too. I think they'll get better together.
Man.
I think Thomas is hands down a top 4 male in pickleball. Top 5 male.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would say that, but for sure.
Who are you putting over it?
Well, hold on. Let me clarify. I don't know if I would say that, but we'll get there. But definitely a top 5 right side player. 100% there. Well,
Thomas or Riley? Or who are you talking about?
Thomas. Top 5 right side player.
I think he's a top 5.
Well, see, you got to put so like Ben, you got Riley Newman, you got Dylan Frazier, then J.W. Johnson. Okay, then we have Federico. They're still good players. So
I'm taking Thomas over Dylan.
Okay, that has yet to be.
I'm thinking like men's and like can also play mixed.
Okay. So if that's
just doubles in general.
Sure. If you're
taking
that,
Ben, I'm taking Riley.
Sure.
I'm taking J-Dub, and then I'm like 4 is like maybe Thomas or maybe James.
Well, yeah, there's James. There's a lot of good players nowadays.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, Ben and Colin defeat Riley and Thomas Wilson. Again, we all know, a lot of you, obviously, Riley's game. Thomas, a couple things that impressed me about his game really is so Thomas has just gotten extremely good speed ups.
Yeah,
his defense is actually, dude.
He uses a 12 millimeter.
I think right now I may put Thomas Wilson top 3 maybe defense on the men's side. I mean, dude.
I'm not gonna disagree
with
that.
Riley and Colin. Where else do you go? Like, where do you go from there? I mean, dude, I was watching some of the points, and he has great hands, great touch. And he just digs himself out of trouble. So, and obviously, if you haven't watched any of our videos, as this game grows and progresses, we talked about topspin all the time, Caden, but topspin dinking, how important it is. If you go back and look at Riley and Thomas's games, Thomas uses almost all topspin dinks on his forehand, and it's very aggressive. It gets that ball down, and it just sets Riley up. So
100%.
But yeah, some interesting stats here. We're gonna go over.
This is where things get really kind of weird, honestly.
So this is really interesting. So the PPA is or whoever this is creating some stats here. So let's just look at obviously, so in a game, just under 2,000 shots. That's really cool to know. Longest rally, 58. And here's where it gets interesting. Now we got the third shot drops. And if we go, so Caden, here's the interesting thing to me, because as this game has evolved, we obviously have seen how much more drives there are compared to actual drops. And if those of you are playing, and we get players from all levels, all different game styles, Caden, when they come train with us, it's funny because usually, to have all around game, right? You want it all, but there are styles of play, right? There are players who drive a lot more and look for a fifth shot drop or look to crash. And there's players that almost exclusively drop, right? So, but this game has definitely shifted over to more offense, more drives in this game. And I think a part of it might be, Caden, you correct me if I'm wrong, if you just brainstorm a little bit, but like, I think the quality of the returns are affecting, so that's number one, that are affecting more players to drive because it's a higher percentage shot. And number two, players' rolls and their fourth shots are getting better and better. So when your opponent's returns are very strong, it's harder to drop. And then now, if you're going to drop, their fourth shots are actually getting more aggressive. So this is why I really believe that players are going to more drives. Thoughts, Caden?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? Like you would think the percentage on the drops for even Colin here would be higher, but it's true. There's a new serve, which is allowing people to, tee off on the return a little bit more. And I think when you think about it, the drive,
maybe that, dude, we didn't even talk about that.
Really doesn't put you in a bad position, like on someone's fourth ball, right? Like they can punch it back. They could punch it back, but they're not going to punch it back for a winner if you're back at the baseline. That's why we talk about the drive and drop combo. So the only one that's not surprising is Riley at 78% drops.
Well, okay, maybe it's not surprising, but okay. So here we go. We're gonna go through the stats here. Ben John's 30% drops. So 7 drops, 16 drives. We won't go over every single that, but 30%. Then we got Colin at 42% drops, which I find actually so interesting because because Colin normally drops more than 50% of the time. I just find that so interesting. So again,
maybe just what was working that day. I would love it if this actually had like the percentages for the whole weekend as well. But this is obviously right. This is just the gold medal match, right? So this is probably, something that obviously Ben and Colin, Riley and Thomas have thought about, right? Like things that they need to do in order to be successful.
Yeah. Then we got, this is interesting, right? We got Riley Newman, right? 78% drops. And partially due to, I think it's just there may be a lot of returns in the middle. I guarantee you, if you're going to return to Riley, right? You're going to return to his forehand, not to his backhand. The reason why I say that is because his backhand drop has a lot of topspin, and it's just more aggressive. Yeah. So what I'm saying though is I guarantee you they return middle a lot, and Riley gets that middle ball and he chooses to drop it because of his Western grip. It's hard to drive. Yeah. So one of the not even flaws in Riley's game, but one of the things because of his grip is it's hard for him to hit a low drive with his west or semi-Western grip. But Wilson, we got 15% drops. So he's driving the ball. Obviously has a great forehand. So really interesting stats there. And then we can just go to speed ups here in the men's doubles championship. The Johns against Newman and Wilson. And we got, let's just go as a team. Johns initiated and won 12 and lost 6. So there you go. So 66% success rate there. And then Newman and Wilson initiated and won 16 and initiated and lost 17. So 48%. Yeah. So that's something to keep an eye on. The speed ups obviously doesn't tell the whole story when we talk about high level pickleball, but it's something that it's interesting to keep seeing it. So All right, so we're gonna hop into women's doubles final. Obviously, surprise, surprise. We already talked about how Anna Lee has, just achieved her 21st Triple Crown with Catherine.
Pretty crazy.
And they are, whether they are actually, pretty good friends on the court or not. Obviously, they see each other all the time in singles, and they play with each other all the time. So there you go. And then Anna Bright. And how do you say Rachel's name?
Rohrabacher.
Yeah, Rohrabacher.
You know what's a crazy stat right here?
Yeah, sure.
94 out of 156 rallies were 9 shots or less. Go up to the men's. Go up to the men's and
okay, let's see this. It's gonna go back up to the men's.
66 out of 143 rallies were 9 shots or less in men's. So 46% compared to
what?
I think it was 60%.
Okay. You know what? I have a theory on that.
Yeah,
without even watching it all the way back. I might go back to watch it, but I just have a feeling that the women they just attack more.
Yeah. I mean,
off the bat.
Right. Well,
off the bat. And then the rallies are
the women's game is faster paced.
Yeah.
I think it's more entertaining, honestly.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's more entertaining. Yeah. There's more volleys. It's it's a quicker point, but like shoot.
Yep. There we go. I want
to watch Ben and Cullen dink for 4 hours.
Yeah, women's. If you're looking for action-packed pickleball, women's doubles definitely is more entertaining. So Waters, 45% drops. Peranto, 52. And Anna Bright. Okay, this is so out of all the doubles here, Anna Bright, 82% drops.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
That's actually a pretty surprising stat.
That's pretty. Yeah. So they got it done. Obviously, And then look at this again. The speed ups does seem to at least tell a strong tale of. We got Peranto and Waters initiated. 111 initiated and lost 10, so 52%, and then Bright and Rohrabacher 41% success rate.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep an eye on that. But there you go. All right. So mixed doubles final. We got Anna Lee Waters obviously in Ben and defeating Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz. And it's good to see James and Anna honestly on the medal stand again.
Yeah.
Good
team, man. It's just, I think it's just Anna Lee and Ben are too much, man. 8, 7, and 7, they're all close games. It's just like at the end of the day, like Ben and Anna Lee are on a freaking different planet.
Yeah. So, played them tight.
I was beating Ben in a singles game one time.
When was that?
Last year.
Okay. All right. 1-0.
No, I was up 6-3.
Okay. All right. Okay. So interesting. All right. So I don't know what stats to go over here, but
well, look at the third shots. 21% drops from Anna Lee. That's 72% drops from Anna Lee.
That's high.
Which is kind of wild. But also I feel like Ben is taking a lot more of the thirds regardless.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so this is really interesting, folks, here. We got, Ben with 48% drops, Anna Lee Waters with 72% drops.
Mm-hmm.
And part of this is why I really think you see more drops from Anna Lee. They know they can win from the kitchen line.
Yeah, and look at Anna. Look at Anna. 20 drops, 3 drives, 86% drops. That's crazy. But then you got James, who's complete opposite side of the map.
Well, he has to.
Yeah, for sure.
Put some juice in there. Mm-hmm. All right. So congratulations to again the Triple Crown winner Anna Lee Waters. Ben obviously lost in the in singles, but he double crowned.
Well, and that's with like the new format. Like Ben didn't play his first match in singles until Thursday. So their top 4 seeds are pretty protected in terms of like.
So they go.
I don't know if that's a bonus.
No,
I don't know if that's a pro.
Hold on, but they go straight to what you're saying? They go straight to like round of like 32 or something.
Straight to round of 16.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are you really straight to round of 16? So how many matches
singles
are they winning to win gold? 4?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, I have to look at that. We'll have to fact check that.
No, I'm serious.
But that's pretty crazy. Okay.
Because Ben, Tyson, Federico, and who's the 3 seed? JW was a 3 seed. They all got buys.
Oh, that's another person who Dylan beat. JW.
Yeah.
He went through JW, Tyson, Kwangdong, and Federico. I mean, that is incredible. That is an incredible run.
Bark. Literally. Yeah,
okay, so we talked about the new paddles a little bit. The new serve, Caden.
Goodness gracious.
So for those of you watching this podcast here, listening to it, we have recently came out with a serve video. Obviously, serving is very, very important. And what do I see in the comments today? Jordan, do you know that Jordan? Actually, the serve. So I'm gonna not even retract, Caden, but I'm gonna say some of my comments now. My replies are, you know what? At this point, serve rules are changing day by day. We'll update the video.
That's the thing. It's the PPA. If you're not playing on the PPA, the serve is still the same. Like, it's so funny because the same thing happened to me on Instagram. It was like someone posted a video of them serving, and it was like back when they were like doing the spin serve, and someone was like, "Oh, that's illegal because he tossed it." And I'm like, "No, it's not illegal because he tossed it. It's illegal because he put spin on it. If you toss it, it's fine." And then of course the PPA serve comes out, and guess what? I don't hear anything about that post until like 2 days ago, and someone goes, "Actually, Caden, you're wrong." And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. So, so new rules in PPA. We're gonna go over them right now. Obviously, it's got to be upward motion. And paddle has to be below the wrist.
Well, starting with your hand.
Well, we haven't got there
Yeah.
yet. I'm just
Okay.
going through the basics here.
Okay. Yeah. Me too.
It was just those. And upward swing path, paddle below the wrist, and there was a third.
Oh, it was a toss.
Yeah.
You can always you can toss, but contact has to be below the waist.
No, but anyways, those are the main two. So now with PPA's new rules, Caden, we were just on the court a couple of days ago experimenting with this, which is I don't know,
saying some nice things.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel about the rules constantly changing. Obviously, the sport has to evolve. It has to land somewhere where everyone is on the same page. But because of obviously abuses of the rule, players hitting it closer and closer to their waist and above their navel, they had to do something. So now
serves are still illegal. It doesn't fix anything, honestly, but
it helps. But so now what you have to do, Caden, you could kind of explain, or I'll help explain to viewers. You can confirm here, but obviously there is no, there can be no upward trajectory from your hand, from the ball, so you can't even toss it even an inch.
Nope.
So you literally have to drop it. And the thing that I don't enjoy is you have to drop it with your hand closed.
Yeah. With your palm facing down.
Palm facing down.
And the ball starting below your waist.
So you gotta, so if this was the ball, I like to, this is not a ball, but I like to like release with an open hand. But yeah, I definitely, if I was playing pro tournaments again, I definitely have to start practicing with palm down. It's just a little weird to me. But there's palm down, and you gotta have your extended arm or hand in like a 45-degree angle, right?
In a way, yeah.
Isn't that how they kind of determine?
Has to be below your belly button. It can't it was weird because honestly, like everything that I got called for, I was playing my mixed match and the girl who I was playing with was not doing that. So I like looked at the ref and I was like, hey, like, isn't she tossing that ball like it's going upward? He just goes, she has higher hips. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know. So rules, again, to clarify, same rules as before, but you cannot actually lift the ball up on your toss or or you toss the ball up, and you have to drop in a closed palm position. And lastly, you actually have to release the ball, correct? Below your hips.
Correct. It was pretty strange too, because like my mixed partner sent me that like before the tournament, and like when she was like, "Oh yeah, like there's new serve rules," I was kind of like, my serve is as legal as it gets. Like no one's gonna be bugging me about my serve. And then literally like they made like multiple changes. So like I get there and like I'm like about to play my match and I'm like, hey, like ref, would you mind just watching a few of my serves? First serve, she's like, nope. And I'm like, oh.
Wait, is that what happened? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, this was just like during practice.
Okay.
Right? And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, what can't, like, what happened? She's like, you tossed the ball. And I'm like, so I have to drop it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I go to drop it. She's like, nope. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're dropping too high. And I'm like, but I'm making contact below my waist. She's like, no. You have to start it at your waist or below.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
It's tough. It's tough now because that when you rock back, or let's say you put some weight transfer or turn your hips or whatever, you have to be really cautious now about just a little natural, I would say, upward release.
Well, that's the thing too, is refs can call you on whatever they think. So if they think something, they're gonna call it, right? Like Craig got called on one that I'm like, what are you looking at, man? Like,
and before, so old rules. I think this is what just takes the cake, because you used to just replay it, reserve it.
Yeah.
Now we're not even.
It's a freaking fault.
Yeah. Now we're talking about. So there's no argument.
No, you just lose the point. You lose the point.
So even if the ref sees it wrong or incorrect, you totally lose your serve. I could just imagine, right? During like 10-10 match point or 11-10,
getting called for a serve.
You're like, oh shoot, okay, I gotta have my hand here. I gotta have this here, and then So
I felt like a 3-5 taking my class, like trying to do serving.
Yeah. So I don't know. So what we may comment below if you want us to come out with a new serve video with the 21 rules of serving. That's what we're gonna call it.
Sponsored by the PPA, probably.
Sponsored by the PPA, but we'll see. New ball.
Yeah.
Balls here, balls there, balls everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the new pickleballs of the sport here.
Got it.
But Caden, obviously last year it was Franklin's were big.
Yeah.
We had the Duras.
Yeah.
Rusty, crackable Duras.
And the ball's been here forever.
Yeah, and in today's news here, obviously at the Masters here, we had the Vulcan, new what is it called? The V1, V2?
Vulcan ball. I don't know.
Vulcan ball.
They're neon green. They're not yellow anymore.
Yeah. But I like the color. I enjoy it. I think it's good to see it.
Good for visuals.
How do they play, man? So as a pro, as someone who's hit thousands, tens of thousands of balls, what do you think of the Vulcan, man?
I think it's a decent ball.
I mean, my guess, I haven't hit it yet, okay? But
so first things first.
Can I guess?
Ridiculously. Oh yeah,
Can I
sure.
guess?
Go for it.
It probably feels very similar to Franklin.
It actually doesn't feel too much like the Franklin. It's like barely softer than the Dura.
Okay, so Vulcan, Franklin, Dura. Which one is it closer to?
Softest.
Hardest. Yes.
Softest is the Franklin.
Yeah.
Middle's Vulcan. Dura's by far is the hardest ball.
Sure, but which one is it closer to? Dura?
Probably more Dura.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, more Dura.
All right.
Biggest problem I have with the ball is it gets wobbly after like a game. So like Pickleball Central guys were super nice and they gave me just like a few balls to take for like the weekend. Of course, I lost them within like a day because everyone's like, "Oh, hey, can I borrow a ball?" And then they're like, "Oh, wait, I'm gonna steal this," So for ridiculously priced, it's like $5 a ball online. They get wobbly after like a game. So actually, like my mixed match, they just made us play with the same ball. But when I was in the main draw for men's, they actually switched it out every game. So if is
that the rule that they are supposed to switch it out? Is it every match or every game?
Well, they didn't do that with the Duras. But they do that with every game.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you go 3, you got 3 balls to play with.
Okay. All right.
All
right. And you said there's a new ball for the APP tour.
Correct.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah. So they just signed a ball deal. Ball deal. Anyways, they signed a ball deal with this newer brand called Owl. So they're using an owl ball.
No relation to the actual nocturnal bird.
Who knows?
Okay.
But anyway, I've heard that ball is super soft and more like a Franklin.
Okay.
So I'm a little worried about that. But actually, one thing that is good is APP just had the Punta Gorda tournament this last weekend, and they actually said, oh, you know what? Since we haven't been able to give this ball out to anyone to use, unlike the PPA, they said, you know what? We'll use the Dura for this tournament, hand out the owl ball to our players, and then we will move forward with it.
All right, the owl.
Which I think is actually like fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
I think it's fairly reasonable,
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. What else we got going? So that was the wrap up of the PPA, Caden's experience there. There's a lot of new things happening in the sport. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. I heard we're still waiting on the merger, right?
Yes, we are.
This PPA MLP situation.
I'm gonna be 83 years old when they figure that.
Or 38. One of them.
Well, I think it's 83, but whatever.
So we're gonna see what happens with that. I don't know. Should we answer some questions here? Should we?
I would love to answer maybe 2 questions.
2 questions. All right, we got 2. Caden's got to go.
Gotta get out of here.
Gotta get out of here. Okay. So really quick here, we're gonna answer 2 of your questions. We'll also leave a link in the description below if you want to submit any of these. But here we go. All right. So, question. Basically, this guy is asking whether he should or she should hit the third shot drop, so hit a third shot drop or just drive it down the middle. I can hit a hard ball down the middle about 100% of the time, but when I try to finesse a third shot drop into the kitchen, I can end up short or being short in the net. Okay, Caden, what do you think about? I got some thoughts. So their drives are obviously working. They're saying 100%. I would probably say it's a little padded there, but because
let me tell you right now.
Okay,
if you can hit any shot 100% of the time and it's good, go with that.
Okay. All right. So, but they're saying it's extremely or much higher than their drop.
It's sounding like it's a lot better than her drop. Yeah. So I would say personally, obviously work on your drops, continue to improve on your drops. But if you have a good drive, that doesn't mean don't use it. I would say,
amen, brother.
If you're 100% successful with that shot, that's like saying, I'm 100% a really good pickleball player, but I'm not going to go play. If you have a shot that works that much, get after it. Keep using that shot.
Hey, I've heard a story before where someone's dug a tunnel with a spoon. You know what his name was? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Out of the prison or something like that? Yeah. The Japanese guy, right? Right?
What?
Okay, so no, go ahead.
Anyways, it was me.
Okay.
All
right. No, I did hear this story though.
Wait, actually?
Of someone who basically over time dug himself out of a situation or something like that.
Are you talking about the Shawshank Redemption? Where he gets out of jail with a little sledgehammer?
I don't know. Maybe it was just a story, okay? But the point is, all right, everyone, the point is that use the tool that you have that is consistent, okay?
Yeah.
Use the tool that you have.
Sure.
All
Moral of the story.
Yeah. Last question here.
There you go.
What skills are most important to reach 4.5 from 4.0? Strength. This is his question. Strength, consistency, attacks, poaching, misdirection, other things. Caden, let's do a little top 2 or 1.
Out of his list?
No, he's asking us.
Ooh, can I give you 3?
Sure.
All right.
No. 1 or 2.
Fine.
2.
Fine. I would say.
The question, by the way, folks, is if you're at a 4.0 now, what do you need to get to a 4.5?
I would say offense, definitely attacks, speed ups.
Woo.
And then consistency's too boring, man. But of course, consistent. I'm going to go point construction.
Ooh, is that PC
You know it.
right there? PC?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does PC stand for? You know, like what I'm talking, like the computers?
Point construction.
No, well,
Oh.
no, like the computers.
Oh,
Do you know?
point. You know what? Comment below if you actually know what PC stands for, like Mac versus PC. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what? I have no idea.
I don't either.
Okay, we don't know, but yeah. So Caden, that's really good. The 4.0 to 4.5, we teach a lot of players. Again, if you want to work with us, you know, we're gonna go over these, especially at a 4.0, super intensive. So make sure you sign up. Yeah. So I would agree. I want to say something different, Caden, but attacking an offense just has to be there. It has to be there. As a 4.0 player, you know, you're understanding the game, you're understanding the fundamentals, and you know what separates you from other 4.0s. A big part is going to be that offense, right? You can't just dink your way through anymore. You can't dink your way through 4.5, especially to 5.0. But you know, if your offensive is there, you know, I really like. Let me see if I could think about a really important thing for 4.5. I guess, you know, point construction, 100% agree. I think that's so huge, like patterns, tactics, where to hit the ball. But I'm gonna just do. I'm just gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna say topspin.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Topspin on now
As
the game is growing. I mean, topspin on almost everything. If you don't have a good topspin motion, especially on your forehand side, I think it's time for you to develop that, because players at 4.0, you can get to a 4.0 level without topspin.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just hit the right balls and things like that. But again, that kind of goes right hand in hand with offense.
100%.
Right? So fourth shot, topspin rolls. We got topspin drives, obviously, topspin serves, topspin drops, but especially 4.5, and even if you're trying to get to 5.0, the topspin dinking is going to be huge. Just putting massive pressure on your opponents. So that's it. There's obviously more. If you want to learn how to get from example A, 4.0 to 4.5, sign up below. We have our super intensive 5-day week-long.
It's going to be crazy.
12 players. We're
be a total ranger.
limiting it to 12 players only at your skill level. So
It's a party.
it's filling up, and we may run multiple of these.
Do we do 5 hours each day?
We're doing 5 hours a day. We're doing
That's crazy.
We're doing meals included. We got strategy breakdowns. We actually, I don't want to give it all away, but we got a mini in-house tournament. We're actually Caden and I.
We're going to play in it?
Well, no, we're actually going to be coaching them.
That's not as cool.
During the tournament.
No, that sounds fun.
So we're going to be, as they're playing round robins and as we're doing our in-house tournament on the last day.
Will there be prizes for the winners?
Yes, there's actually going to be, I'm not going to give it away. Maybe a trophy, maybe some prizes, maybe a Lamborghini. I don't know.
Will there be prizes for the coaches?
Yeah, maybe best coached, best dressed.
Oh,
that definitely not going to be kid.
That's going to be me for sure.
All right. So, so sign up. We would love to work with you. If you are 100% serious about your game, obviously we do these 2-day intensives. If you're longing for something that you can really, really hone in on your game and get better, and you would like to spend a whole week with Caden and I,
sounds pretty fun to me.
maybe we do a live podcast on the court with everyone. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I don't
have
know.
enough mics for that, but we could do like a little hey, who wants to speak?
Yeah.
Oh, Joey wants to speak. Come on, Joey.
Dude, you know what? That wouldn't be bad.
Right?
We may. Okay, we may. So, shout out to everyone who is watching this pod, listening to it.
For sure.
Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify or whatever, Apple, whatever you listen.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate it.
We love y'all.
And we will see you in future videos. Caden, sign us out.
All right, everybody. It's been a blast. First podcast being back, many more to come. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.